Hey, hello all. Welcome to the sixth video of this NumPy tutorial series. In this tutorial, I'm gonna cover probably the most widely used tool for generating random values. Yes, you would have guessed it by now. It is NumPy's module random. Okay, let's get started. We'll see how it works. Random module. And to use NumPy, we need to import it first. Import NumPy as NP. And the first function we are going to cover from the random module is random. Okay, NP random module, and then the function is random. So whenever you run this function, you get some random value. So let's say, for example, if you want 10 values, you can say random. You can pass this 10 as a parameter. Now you get 10 values. These values will always be float, and also the values are generated between 0.02, 0.99, etc. Okay, so always you see the values between 0 to 0.999. Okay, and the second function we are going to talk about is seed. Seed is one of the most useful function. This can be used with a combination of all the random functions. Whatever I'm going to cover in this video, you can use seed along with all these random functions. So basically, when you run this command, every time it returns a different value. Let's say, in case if you want a common set of value, what you can do is np random.seed will give input as 1, and we'll call the same value. So now the value is 0.41. So whenever I run these two as a combination in this program, I get the same value. This won't change. The value will be same. That's how the algorithm is defined at the backend. So for example, if you want another set of the common value, you can give input as 2. So this will return the same value throughout the program. Basically, you can make the random function to return the same value every time you run the random command. So then next function we are going to talk about is randint. So as the name suggests, it will return the integer values between the given endpoints. Let's say random will call the function randint, and 10, 20. So random value is picked between 10 and 19. Always the last element at the endpoint is excluded in this. Okay, so again if you say 16. So if you want the endpoint as well, can always say +1. So I mean, maybe not in this uh, session, but you will see the value 20 at some point. And also you can specify the number of values you want. For example, in this case, the starting point is 10 and the ending point is 21, and the number of element I am requesting is 4. So in this case it has written 4 value, 4 random value between 10 to 21. And so this is for integer, and if you want float value between a random float value between two endpoints, That also you can do using this function uniform. Let's call function uniform, and parameter options are same. We'll give the starting point, let's give the ending point, and then number of sample, let's say 7. This will give some random floating value between 10 and 19. If you want the last value to be included, can give +1 always. So that's all about this uniform function. And the output from the uniform function is continuous uniform distribution. From the next topic we are going to talk about is choice function. To pick a random element from a list or tuple, you can use this function. Let's create a list first. Li so let's say apple, orange, and pineapple, banana. Okay, and let's call the function choice random dot choice, and we'll pass the list. So what this command will do is it will return a random option from the given list. So first time pineapple it has written, so banana, so that's what. So always it returns the value from the given list. So let's say if you want two random value from the given list, you can say okay, I think size, okay, size equal to 2. This time it will return two values. This choice function has two more parameters. Let's talk about that as well. Okay, the third parameter is replace. So it is nothing but, for example, one is already selected, like banana is already selected. Let's say from the previous example, let's say banana is already selected, then this function will not let you choose the banana again. So always the second option will always from the remaining value. That is what the replace means. And the last value p equal to, it is a parameter. This parameter controls the probability of selecting a given item, uh, kind of giving weightage to the values. For example, you can say run this command, and will return two values and p equal to, so we are kind of giving weightage. Let's say the first apple we give 6, 0.6, and the second orange we give 0.3, and pineapple we give 0, and the banana will give 0.1. So apple has more weightage, so this has returned apple twice. So and we'll use the other parameter replace equal to false. So this, in this way you will not get the same value. The next function we are going to talk about is rand. To call the function, you need to say np.random.rand, and we will give the shape of the NumPy array that we want. The values are always from 0 to 0.999999, etc. So it always returns in the form of uniform distribution. Okay, and we have one more function for returning the value in normal distribution form, which is randn. This so in the randin function, positive and negative values will be evenly distributed around the mean. And the last function of this random module is shuffle. So let's say let's create an array np.arange. So we have covered arange in our previous video. You can always go and check it. We'll say 20. So 20 random values are created in this array A. So let's say if you want, if you want to shuffle the numbers, you can do it np random dot shuffle A. This will make the changes in original array itself. The original array itself modified. And we have one more function for shuffling the data, which is permutation. Let's see how it works. np.random dot permutation, and we'll pass the array A. Shift enter. So if you see the output of A now, so from the previous output we could see that it has shuffled the data, uh, and let's see the original array. So it is same as the previous output. So what we understand from here is it doesn't change the memory layout or the element index in the original array. It just shuffles the data, and of course if you want this to be passed on a different variable, that you can do. Now if I see the B, the values are different. Yep. So that's all for random. See you guys in the next video. Thank you all.